Hello students, welcome back again. Let us start our day with a beautiful quote. No pain, no gain. Children, it means that until and unless you work hard, you will not achieve your goal. So everyone, you have to work hard. So let us start with our new chapter today. Our second chapter is India before the times of Shivaji Maharaj. We shall learn about the various ruling powers in India before the times of Shivaji Maharaj in this lesson. Various ruling powers existed in India during that period. Let us learn about those ruling powers with the help of map of India. So, these are the various ruling powers in India. Let us know about them one by one. In the beginning, we have Pal dynasty in Bengal. Then we have in central India, Gurjar Pratihar dynasty. After Gurjar Pratihar dynasty, we have Rajput dynasty in north. Can you see it properly? Then we have Govinda III in Rashtrakuta dynasty, which is in Maharashtra. Then Rajaram I, Rajendra I, who belong to Chola dynasty, which is in Tamil Nadu. Can you see properly the map? Yes. Then we have Shilahar dynasty in western Maharashtra. Then King Vishnuvardhan, who belonged to Hoysal dynasty in Karnataka. The last prosperous power before the period of Shivaji Maharaj was that of the Yadavas. The capital of Bhilam V of the Yadava dynasty was at Devgiri near Aurangabad. He extended his rule beyond the river Krishna. The Yadava period is considered to be the golden period of Marathi language and literature. So, if you see the map, you will come to know their places and positions properly. Understood? Now, how to revise and how to remember so many ruling powers? I have one flow chart, you can say, to remember all these dynasties in details. Children, you can note down these things or mark down in your textbook. See, all the dynasties or ruling powers are given here one by one. So, in this simple way, you can learn these various ruling powers. Now, let us start with the invasions from northwest. Now, where is northwest? You all know. Let us see through the map. This is India. Can you see it? This is north and south, and between north and south on the left side, if you see, there are different countries. Can you see it? Yes. So, in the meanwhile, the Arab power had emerged in the Middle East. Arab, can you see Arab? Marked with a pink pen? Yes. So, the Arab general Muhammad bin Qasim attacked the Sindh provinces. Sindh means where? Yes, now in Pakistan. So he entered through Sindh provinces in India. And he also defeated King Dahir. Now, who was King Dahir? King Dahir was the Sultan of Sindh province. He was the last Hindu ruler of Sindh. Sindh now is in Pakistan. So, Muhammad bin Qasim defeated King Dahir and entered in India. Due to this campaign, the Arab came into political contact with India for the first time. After that, Turkey, Afghanis and Mughals from Central Asia also came to India and established their power. So let us see, where is Turkey. See, again Turkey is marked with a blue, this pink pencil. Can you see it properly? Yes. Arab power. Afghanistan you can see over here. So these are the places. These are the western countries. Can you see it properly? Yes. Now, let us know about the position or the location of Middle East and Central Asia in our next slide. See, these are the pictures. Can you see the map of India here? Above the map of India, what is there? Central Asia. Where is India located? South Asia. So above South Asia, Central Asia is there. So above India, what is there? Central Asia. And on the left side of the India, if you see, Middle East is there. Got it? Yes. In the 11th century CE, the Turkeys began to invade India. Expanding their territories, they reached the northwestern frontier of India. Sultan Mahmud of Ghazni invaded India many times. He plundered the rich temples at Mathura, Vrindavan in north, Kanauj is in UP, and Somnath is in Gujarat, and carried away enormous wealth, means a big wealth with him. The world famous enriched library of the Nalanda University was burned down by Bakhtiyar Khalji. See, these are the pictures of Nalanda University in Bihar. So, in 11th century, Muhammad of Ghazni and Bakhtiyar Khalji from Turkey, they invaded some parts of India. Sultan Mahmud plundered the various temples and monuments in India, whereas Bakhtiyar Khilji, who was the commander-in-chief of Turkey, burnt down Nalanda University, which is in Bihar. I am sure till now you have understood. Now let us move on to the next slide. You can turn the page of your textbook and let us see the Sultanate in the north. Sultan Muhammad Ghuri of Ghur from Afghanistan invaded India. Just now in the last slide you have seen where is Afghanistan. Is it clear to you? So Muhammad Ghuri of Ghur, he was from Afghanistan. He invaded India. He appointed a slave named Qutbuddin Aibak to look after the governance of the conquered territories in India. But after the death of Muhammad Ghuri, Qutbuddin Aibak, who was a slave, he became the ruler of Delhi. He also died in 1210. Muhammad Ghuri from Afghanistan and Qutbuddin Aibak from Turkey. Children, if you note these things properly, you will understand in a better way. So, let us revise what you have learnt today in our next slide. Can you see? Arab, Turkey, Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan and India. Children, you have to learn this map very well. Let us revise now. Various powers in India we have learned to the map of India. Yadava period is considered to be the golden period of Marathi language. Arab powers. The Arab general Muhammad bin Qasim by defeating King Ka Dahir and conquered the province of Sindh. Turks, Afghans and Mughals came to India and established their power. Sultan Mahmud of Ghazni from Afghanistan plundered northwestern frontiers. Bakhtiyar Khalji burned down Nalanda University in Bihar. Muhammad Ghuri from Afghanistan invaded India, and after his death, Qutbuddin Aibak, a slave, became the ruler of Delhi. So, we will discuss the next in our next video. So, till then, good day, children.